Alright, good morning YouTube. So we are back out at the range for the first ever test fire of the SKAR at home. The We have SKAR at home. This is AR-15 pattern mostly, AR barrel, gas system, and modified bolt carrier. The modifications to the bolt carrier are that now it protrudes into the handguard and has this permanently affixed reciprocating charging handle, as well as this tube accepts an AK pattern recoil spring. Other than that, so there is no buffer tube. It's all contained within the upper. Hybrid steel and aluminum and 3D printed design. And we're going to test fire it. We're off safe. Okay. All right. Ready? Fire. Fire in the hole. Fucking ejected.
No shit.
It fucking ejected. Holy shit.
Go!
It was a little bit sluggish
Are you sure
ejection.
it was recording?
Huh? Yeah, it's recording. It's flashing.
Okay, cool. Let's
Okay.
go.
Okay, I mean it's around here somewhere.
Yep. That's
I don't know. I saw it eject.
That's got a very potent smell for one round.
That's imported ammo. It's a Privy Partisan. So it's like
I don't feel like I
it's
smelled
Russian
this
ammo.
until like I've put like CLP, a bunch of it.
Yeah,
I've gone through like several.
Oh, it's not the weapon.
magazines,
It's the
and I'm
Russian.
like,
It's Russian ammo. All their powder smells like that. I don't care about the. You know what? It is important to figure out where the cartridge landed. Should be right around here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop the record.
Oh, you have one
I got
already?
one. Yeah. Okay. After the first shot, it did actually eject. So we're gonna try that again. All right. All right. We are in battery. Safety is off. All right, gentlemen. It's consistent. That one actually didn't go quite as far.
So what are you gonna do to give it more gas?
Drill out the gas port.
Okay.
Yeah, the actual gas port that's in the barrel.
Press button.
Yeah. Yeah, drill it out.
Flashing?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Off safe. All right. For the camera, gas port has been drilled out with a number 44 drill bit. Don't know what that correlates to, but it's a little bigger. Okay.
Roll it.
How's our lineup? Our lineup's good. Okay. Fire in the hole. Pretty much straight out.
I'm not sure.
It looked like it was right about
If
here.
it's gas higher, it's probably over here.
Yeah. No, shit, a fucking spider. Ants?
We really need to get a tarp or something.
Yeah.
Because I don't know where any halfway decent tarp is on the ranch, so.
Found it. Okay.
Okay,
Well,
yeah, that's
yep,
slightly
that's it.
forward.
That is slightly forward, so
So
that is
overgassed?
considered. No, that is considered properly gassed.
Okay.
If it's
Okay,
kicking
so
it way
here's what we'll
forward,
do.
yeah, let's do that. So if it's kicking it way forward, that's generally considered overgassed. Which overgassed is not a bad thing in terms of reliability, just not great for part longevity. All right. Well, I feel good enough to shoot this from the shoulder.
Okay.
We've shown pretty well that it will not explode. Hit record, please. We're,
Roll it.
yeah. Okay, so from the shoulder test.
Nice.
Cycled and last round hold open.
Perfect.
Roll it.
Jammed?
I think it might have tripped the last round hold open somehow. It felt like it was getting more sluggish as it cycled. Okay. That time,
Malfunction.
yeah.
Still have rounds, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, it didn't go all the way into battery. Alright, let's lube the bitch.
I don't want to use all your ammo.
Okay. Okay, hello YouTube. So I'm recording this a couple hours after the test fire this morning. We have the now functional, we have SKAR at home. So it's empty. Get the stock off of there, or the sling off of there. So it ran really well. There were a couple of shots fired off of camera to help with zeroing. And we have enough footage, it seems to function. Currently I'm seeing no part breakages or stress fractures in the printing. It felt good, it shot good once it was zeroed. This is a Vortex Viper pistol red dot, so it's like a 6 MOA dot, and the adjustments are pretty coarse. So zeroing it wasn't the easiest thing in the world, but we got it on paper at 25, and I made a few hits at 50. So, right. So I'm going to disassemble this on camera and show you the guts. Okay, cool. So obviously this is AR based. So you got front and rear takedown pins. On this assembly, they are just 1/4 inch machine screws. So we can just back those out with our drill. There we go. Holds good enough for a prototype. And we just break it in half, just like a regular AR. So, as we can see, that doesn't fall off my desk. So the lower has a standard AR fire control group, magazine release. The last round hold open is modified because there's stuff in the upper that gets in the way. So there's no buffer tube. This attaches with a Picatinny rail. So it'll accept any of the existing stocks on the market, or pistol braces, stocks, MCX, whatever, that attach via a Picatinny rail. However, the stock, this is of course my design of stock. This cost me like $6 to print. Why shouldn't I print a stock? It's just plastic. It's good enough for a prototype. And one of the tricks to this is that there's 5 slots in this Picatinny rail. So we can move this stock up and down to give us a different cheek weld as necessary. And that's about it in the lower. So in the upper receiver, so this is a fully self-contained upper, and so there's an AK pattern recoil spring. There's a modified bolt carrier that I'll get to in a moment, and there are 1/4 inch threaded rods that run all the way from the rear with these nuts all the way to the front, and on the lower they go on the lower part of the handguard, they go up to here. On the upper part of the handguard, they actually go out to about here, and they provide additional rigidity and strength to the printed handguard. So disassembly is pretty easy. These ignore that. These nuts are just hand tight. They don't really need to be super tight. which I thought I had them hand tight. I might have tightened them a little bit more whenever I disassembled it. There we go. And so then we remove this component, which is the receiver rear plate, 1/4-inch plate steel. Pull out our AK pattern recoil spring. This is actually salvaged from my AK-74, which doesn't work at the moment. Quite unfortunate. Okay, and we get to the actual teardown. So just rack it back. Let's see if I can do this on camera. So rack it back to about here. And there we go. Charging handle comes out. Bolt carrier group comes out. We can throw the upper at somebody else. Just chuck it. Or place it gently on the desk. And there we go. Here's the real magic. So this is, of course, a standard AR-15 bolt carrier group cut right behind the firing pin. And this component, which I call the bolt spring guide, is attached onto the same screws that mount the gas key. Now these screws are a little bit loose because I'm incompetent and I need to Loctite them. But yeah, that's how that works. And otherwise, this is just a regular AR bolt. It's, you know, direct gas impingement. It's got a regular gas system. So your bolt, this portion of your bolt serves as your piston, which for those of you who don't know. And then our AK recoil spring just goes right in there like that. Our charging handle, of course, slots into the front. Pretty straightforward. And it worked really well today. So a little bit deeper into the upper. So grab a flashlight if I can find one. Nope, can't find a flashlight. So here, if we see here, this is a 1-inch inner diameter aluminum tube, 1/8 ID, 1 1/4 OD, and it is mounted in, so this upper is 3D printed. Then the aluminum tube is machined and installed. The machining is all done with an angle grinder and a Dremel, and a 3D printed jig that allows pretty much anyone to make it. Interesting to note is right here on the ejection port. This lines up exactly with whatever. So this lines up exactly with the gas vent holes that exist in, get a decent angle, right there. All right, I've got the weapon reassembled off camera. It's getting smoother with additional cycling and, of course, test firing it today. So, future roadmap. Obviously, this is actually pretty functional. The goal with this whole design was to take a standard AR-15, eliminate the buffer tube, just straight up eliminate the buffer tube, and there are several tricks to that. So first off, when we removed the when we take the standard bolt carrier and we cut it right behind the firing pin, so that removes a fair bit of mass from the bolt carrier itself. Further, since we are eliminating the buffer tube, we're also eliminating the buffer mass as well. So when you compare that to the bolt spring guide that was added, so this bolt carrier group is actually 17% heavier by mass than a standard AR-15 bolt carrier group and standard buffer. So one thing to note is that increased weight helps with reliability. Increasing your bolt weight generally helps with reliability. But of course, since it's heavier, had to bore out the gas port a little bit to allow for more gas to cycle the heavier action. Plus, this is 3D printed. This is also brand spanking new. It's got like, current round count is around 100, maybe 120. And so current round count's around 100, 120. So it's still probably wearing itself in. There's little ridges in parts of the reciprocating action where the layer lines are causing a little bit of hang up and things like that. So that's pretty much expected. So this will only get better with time, hopefully. As mentioned in one of the other clips, I haven't seen any signs of stress fracturing or damage or anything like that. Seems to be holding together really well. So future roadmap, I already said that, but the plan will be to make this into a bullpup configuration. So of course we'll be making a modified lower that actually has a stock here instead of here. We'll be moving the pistol grip to like here-ish, and then we'll have, much smaller, more compact weapon system. And principally, main concern is we'll have a smaller, more compact weapon system that is compatible with every single AR-15 barrel and bolt on the market. Not the bolt carrier. The bolt carrier is proprietary, of course, but the bolt and the barrel are completely AR standard. So if you already have a match grade 224 Valkyrie barrel and match grade headspace bolt for that, drop it in, put a scope on, you're good to go. It'll just work. Of course, it's a standard gas system, so it is compatible with it should be compatible with all different flavors of gas system. The only concern I have right now is I'm not sure how well like a 300 blackout pistol length gas system will interface with this. There might be an interference in here with the handguard, but the handguard is designed to clear the gas tube, and it does clear the gas tube, so I think it'll work if you use a low profile gas block. Something to look into. Caliber conversions are going to be pretty straightforward. It'll just be AR compatible. Of course, bullpup configuration for this, action, as well as AK pattern magazine well. So this is still in development. I have not designed an AK pattern mag well before, but I do have a 7.62 x 39 AR barrel in inventory now, and I will be attempting to build it in a AK pattern. So this is actually working pretty well. I don't even have a magazine catch spring in here yet. It seems all right. Definitely needs some more refinement. So by the time it's all said and done, the upper will need some slight modification from this pattern that is currently printed, but the modifications that I've had to do thus far to make the AK pattern magazine well work will not affect, or will not conceivably affect AR-15 pattern magazine function. Yeah, that's pretty much the roadmap. The goal will be to have this as a standard rifle and a bullpup with both AR-15 and AK platform magazine wells. So if you want to run any caliber you can think of, that will run in a standard AR-15, you got it. So build price for this weapon. So the barrel is a Bear Creek lightweight. It's about $80. The bolt carrier I used is a Bear Creek. It's like $75 or so. Frankly, this optic is worth about $200 and is the most expensive single component on here. The aluminum and the steel for the various home fabricated parts are like $50, and you can probably make 2 or 3 of these rifles with that amount of material. There's a QD sling swivel mount points on the handguard and on the stock, and those are both reversible, so you can swap them over if you're a lefty. Basic fire. It's got a basic fire control group, so it's just a mil-spec trigger and not much else. And yeah, so cost of components to put this one together is right about $350, give or take. I've had to do some reprints, so my actual development cost is around $430, $450-ish, because I've had to print 3 of these handguards like three. Yeah, I've had to do some reprints because I screwed things up, which is expected in prototyping. But yeah. So you got a full-length semi-monolithic Picatinny rail. I have to call it a semi-monolithic because it's not quite a monolithic because it is, of course, there's a seam there, between the two components. And then, of course, the front end is got M-lock on 3 sides and pick rail on top. Yeah, that's about it. This has been very successful so far. I'm going to continue test firing this, and frankly, I quite enjoyed shooting it. I will probably swap out this optic for a more rifle-style optic, because this is a pistol red dot. But that's about it. So until next time.